Hello, I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough. And, well, guys, I'm doing it. I'm doing a shelf collection show-off video. You know those videos where people show off their DVD collections, their Blu-ray collections, VHS collections, all that kind of stuff, comic book collections, video game collections. Yeah, I'm going to be doing something similar to that. I'm going to be showing off the shelf of the best and the shelf of the worst. I've mentioned them a couple times in videos. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. But in case you don't, here, there it is right there. That's top shelf is shelf of best, and right there, shelf of worst. And we're going to be going over what exactly is on each shelf, and this should be good. So basically, I created the shelf of the best and shelf of the worst to house some of the best and worst stuff we've talked about. And, well, let's go over each one of the items. Let's start with shelf of the best. Halo Monopoly. Before I had Halo Monopoly on here, I had the My Little Pony Monopoly game, which I still think is one of my favorite board game reviews that we did for the show, but Halo Monopoly was a better game. We actually knew how to play it. And yeah, it's just generally better. Some stuff that 30s Man got at BronyCon. There's that Pinkie Pie plushie we did in the toy review. Right back there, and right over here you'll notice I have both Coke and Pepsi. Pepsi is snug all the way back over there. You see the Coke bottle, and over here is the Pepsi can on top of the Coke can. And right here is my Wii U. The reason I put it up here is because one of my favorite games that I did a review of was AVGN Adventures, and so I got the game on Wii U, and that's why I decided to stack it up here. Of course, if I want to play it, then I'll probably just play it over there with the TV and the game consoles. But yeah, so there's that. I have both McDonald's and Burger King bags because I did the Epic Media Battle. Obviously I did the Epic Media Battle on Coke versus Pepsi, and I have McDonald's and Burger King over here because I like both. And I really couldn't come to which one was better, so that's why I put them both. And there's the little Burger King crown. Some stuff that I got signed right here. This is the old camera that I got Rob Walker to sign. That was part of the ZenkaiCon 2015 vlog. Right here is Deadpool, because I love Deadpool. Deadpool is like one of my favorite comic book characters, alongside Batman. Got this at FYE, got a lot of my stuff there. Speaking of FYE, right up there, I don't know why I kept that around. That's the Lego Minecraft thing. That's like one of the earliest Media Wiz episodes back when I did Minecraft March. That it's a little symbol of what we used to be, and I think it's good to keep that thing around. Over here, if you remember the top 10 favorite movies video that we did, well, these are like my number 1 and 2 favorites. My first favorite movie, the number 1 movie of all time in my opinion, is Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, and right next to it, my second favorite movie is Dumb and Dumber. Both of which are comedies, road trips. I don't know what that really says, but yeah, I think these are like my favorite movies ever. This is a video copy of Thomas and the Magic Railroad that I had when I was a kid. Notice I have Nostalgia Critic signature as well as Sparkle Sparkle Sparkle, and right down here I got the Wilstonator to sign. 30s Man is the one that got this for me. Thank you, Will. Will's a great guy. Check out his channel. He's really damn good. Yeah, but I have some fond memories of this movie. It's obviously very, very flawed, but I think as a family movie, it's like Elmo and Grouchland. I think it's actually decent as a little kid movie. It's better than Barney's Great Adventure. Right here we have the Ed Eddy collection. Obviously I did the whole Eternal Summer where I talked about the show and other merchandise of Ed Eddy. The entire collection of DVDs. These 3 at the bottom right here, these are the Thailand DVDs of the last 3 seasons. The first 2 seasons, which were released officially in America, and the 2 special edition DVDs that contain 5 episodes. There's the Edifying Adventures and Fool's Pair Edice. Below that we have a collection of Cinemassacre and some, right over here, we have some Deck Out the Glasses stuff. Here is the Deck Out the Glasses stuff. You'll notice I have the first 3 DVDs of Deck Out the Glasses. Then I have them like in the orders that they were released. It's so the first 3, then Nostalgia Critic Reloaded, and then the 4th one. Yeah, so there's my I have the movies somewhere. I have like Kick-Ass, Suburban Nights, To Boldly Flee, all that stuff, but I forget where I put them. I didn't put them on the shelf, but I did. If you notice, boom, Angry Video Game Nerd the movie is right there, as well as the first season of Board Games. I know the second season is on DVD, but I didn't get it yet. And right over here we have the Game Boy version of Ed, Edd n Eddy The Misadventures. Still, I think this game's really good. It's way better than the GameCube version. It's probably the best Ed, Edd n Eddy game I've played, and so that's why it managed to rank on top of Shelf of the Best. I have Sir Topham Hatt, Percy, and Thomas as just a little, like, because I remember back when I was a kid I had these, so decided to put them up here and sort of a little tribute to Will, because I really like his Thomas content. His new stuff's great too. This is actually a physical copy I made of the Slender Man creepypasta, and it's pretty much just the article from Creepypasta Wiki. But yeah, I remember back, I think it was Halloween. I remember it was Mediaween 2015, where I talked about the Slender Man creepypasta and gave my thoughts. And yeah, looking back, this is probably one of the better literature pieces that I did a review of, so glad to see that this is still on the shelf. Now, what is this right here? I didn't technically do a review of this. Well, if you remember the Eternal Summer video where I talked about the Ed, Edd n Eddy literature, like the comics, the fanfics, and all that kind of stuff, the creepypasta, this right here is actually a comic, and I saw a lot of Ed, Edd n Eddy fans had it, and obviously you'll see the Eds are huge on the cover. And this is actually really good. I read it. There's actually a story in here of the Eds becoming superheroes. It's really good. So yeah, if you're an Ed, Edd n Eddy fan, or like you like old school Cartoon Network, I highly recommend you get this, as well as some of the other issues. Really good. Yep, here we go. Here's where all the music is. We got the original Tenacious D album, just called Tenacious D. I got the deluxe edition of Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny soundtrack, which comes with tarot cards from the movie, comes with a replica of the Pick of Destiny. It comes with the actual soundtrack. It's great. Then we got the third Tenacious D album, Rise of the Phoenix, which has a very suggestive cover, obviously. We got the Essential Weird Al album, which has a lot of Weird Al's best hits. It's really damn good. Love me some Weird Al. And I got a CD copy of Rucka's World. Chris got this autographed by a bunch of people, if you remember his Captivating Christian live video from years ago. Yeah, I don't know who any of these people are, so I thought Rucka's World was a good Rucka Rucka Ali album, so that's why I put it in here. Yeah, so these are the albums that made it onto Shelf of the Best. And lastly, right over here, we've got a cup that I got at Disney World for Space Mountain. It's a great cup, and it's still a great ride. I did a review of it, and I also talked a little bit about it in the Disney World Universal Florida vlog. So, yeah, that's why this is sort of here to commemorate Space Mountain, because I love that ride. It's great. Now we move on to Shelf of the Worst, where we have some of the worst stuff I've talked about. Oh my god. Now, some of the stuff that I talked about, I didn't actually want to buy a physical copy and put on the shelf, because, you'll notice I don't have a DVD copy of, like, Pope Town or Brothers Grunt. So that's, unless you guys think I should actually commit to it and get a physical copy of that stuff so I could destroy it or something and put it on the shelf. If you guys think that's a good idea, let me know, because I'll probably actually get it. It sounds like a really funny idea in retrospect. But most of the stuff that I was able to talk about was able to make it. Right over here we've got Doggy Doo and another terrible toy game, Mr. Bucket. Me and Twitchy Eyed Timmy reviewed this stuff. Here's an example. I don't have the physical copy of Bukkake the card game, which is arguably worse than both of these two things combined. But it's 15 bucks on Amazon. I don't want to actually buy it because I don't want those people to get money. Yeah, this stuff sucks right here. It is a picture of the Amy's Baking Company menu. I was actually tempted, back when Amy's Baking Company had a website, I was tempted to get some of their merchandise as a way to remember how horrible Amy's Baking Company was. If it isn't Amy's Baking Company, I'd say the worst food-based thing that we did a review of was probably, what was it, Danny's Sub Shop in Maryland. But I don't know. Amy's Baking Company I hated more just because from how they portrayed themselves. They were just despicable people. But yeah, I don't know if any of you guys know that for a while Amy's Baking Company had a website and they sold off like hats and shirts with quotes on them from the Kitchen Nightmares episode, which is funny because in the second episode they did on Amy's Baking Company, it showed them and they were all bitter and they were like, that show ruined our lives, we're now laughingstocks, but they're like trying to like make money off of it. Got DVDs right here: Inappropriate Comedy, worst movie I ever reviewed; Movie 43 and Disaster Movie, which were the previous worst movies I ever talked about. Right over here we've got those terrible MLP recolor toys, which, speaking of recolors, I might actually consider doing more cheap knockoff toys. Like right over here we've got that Ninja action figure that was done in the Ninja action figure review for the Tribute Zone. It was a tribute parody of Austin Trench. Got a printed out copy. You guys can't tell from the image, but this is definitely the reaction face you'd make. From Hot Sauce's Fooling Around with the CMC. Yeah, Hot Sauce is still, even though he's no longer making fanfics, he just disgusted me to no end. And I also did Twy and Me with Chibi Fangirl, if you guys want to see our attempt to read through that. But also, right over here we've got Sonichu, the 2 issues that I actually printed out. And some people are asking if I'll ever come back to doing Sonichu, because there's new issues coming out. I might not, but we've got E.T. for Atari, which I played a little bit during my RetroCon 2014 vlog, and then I did a full review of it. Below that we've got March of the Penguins, that was requested by Adam Sullivan. And below that we've got Barney's Hide and Seek for Sega Genesis. I hated these games with a passion, so that's why they ended up on the shelf. It couldn't just be one. I decided to put some other ones in here, so that's why a couple more landed the shelf. But yeah, there's some other stuff that could have been put on the shelf, like, I mean, like I said, Pope Town, or, what was it called? Oh, I could have put Bratz dolls on here, because I remember I did the Bratz rant, but yeah, I think, in retrospect, it's best if we don't, because I'm not going to go out of my way to buy a Bratz doll. You guys, I think it's best, or anything that was like memorabilia from It's a Small World, because I hated that, or even Superstar Limo. I think it's best that, like, you know, the stuff that we did have physical copies of, that's what landed the shelf as a way to, like, remember how horrible they were. But the stuff that obviously doesn't make the shelf, they'll still be remembered for how bad they were, because we can just go back and watch the original videos that I did on them. So yeah, there you go. That is Shelf of the Best, and this is Shelf of the Worst. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little walk down memory lane of all the different reviews, commentaries, rants, vlogs that I've done for the last 4 years. It's been a journey. So, also one more thing before I go, this is the 199th MediaWiz video I ever did. So, look forward to the 200th one. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be a countdown. I'm not gonna spoil what it is. It's gonna be a top 11 video. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So, yeah, see you guys then. I'm the MediaWiz, because One Art Forum wasn't enough.